What's up, internet? You know what it is. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. Let's get right into this, huh? Ragana, Desolation's Flower, probably one of my most anticipated albums of the year. I know I say that at the beginning of every one of these, but this one was like the one. This was like the oh shit, there's an album coming. I started listening to Ragana about last year, right? Pretty new fan, all things considered, but I loved their shit. I mean, I fucking loved it. Waiting slash The Tower, fucking loved that EP. And then You Take Nothing, fucking amazing, amazing album. I've been listening to it nonstop since about January. So when I saw this was an album, I damn near shit my pants. And then listening to the singles, Desolation's Flower, insane. It's one of the most just bombastic showcases of doom metal I think I've ever seen. Death to America, the anarcho feminist anthem. There is no other song that can encapsulate that feeling with such little words and simply just musical talent. And again, let's remind ourselves this is two people, it's two women. They're just going at it, and it's fucking amazing. I love them. They're queens. They're the best. Anyways, Winter's Light Part 2. When I saw this, when I heard this, I then realized that this was not simply a new album. This was a continuation of You Take Nothing, their best album. Which means, obviously, this was going to slap. And of course it did. My god, I fucking love this. So let's talk about it. We already talked about Desolation Flower, right? That shit's amazing. Amazing opener. The sound, the atmosphere, it sets such an amazing tone, as if their tone isn't already kind of bombastic to begin with. But then you get to Whoa, right? The first non-single track of the album. And then you're like, oh, this is every song. And it is, every song. The guitars, drenched in reverb. The chord progressions, immaculate. They're so simple. I can literally count the amount of chords being played, and yet I feel no kind of like, oh, this isn't good enough for me. It's flawless. It's amazing. Then, the drums. Every fucking track, the drums carry so hard. It's like the drums and guitar have switched places in the Ragana world, right? Because normally it's the drums are the thing doing the whole like rhythm, it's kind of keeping the tempo, but here it's the guitar that's keeping the tempo, and the drums are the auxiliary, yeah, they're the auxiliary instrument. They're the instrument that gets to go fucking banana balls, so they're doing that the whole time. Anyways, what was an amazing track. Then you get to Ruins, can't remember if there's an S in there. As you can see, I just listened to the album. Amazing. Again, it's fucking insane. I can't even put it into words. Again, chord progression, the reverb, the tone, the amount of bass the guitar has, mind you, might I add. Then we get to Death to America. My god, I'm speaking too fast. Death to America, again, another great track. It's so simple in its point, literally, and yet it encapsulates such a nihilistic feeling towards the concept of America and the things that it brings about. It's such a well put statement without actually saying anything, if that makes sense. But not saying anything in the sense of it has no message, but in the sense of it does it in very little words. Winter's Light Part 2. Fucking insane track. In my opinion, one of the best singles to come out this year, period. It's what I want from doom metal. The first half is this epic. It feels like a story being told. Literally. Like it feels like the Odyssey or some shit for some reason. I don't know why that's the first thought I had, but that's the one you're getting. Then the second half, it slows down to almost a grinding halt. And honestly, I kind of love it. They knew they were cooking and they just went with it. Because then you have Pain next, and Pain is this like, it's got very post-punk vibes. It reminds me a lot of something like Death Consciousness. I know, I won't shut up about it. But another thing is that it's just good at doing it, right? It's got a faster tempo, it's a little bit more melodic, and it works as a great juxtaposition to Winter's Light Part 2, which is not as melodic at all. It's harsh, it is pounding, it is brutal. And then you have In the Light of a Burning World. And that felt like the right closer. It felt like they were saying what they needed to say. They were like, shit's fucked, and we're just living in it. And I kind of love it. Now, one thing I will say is that they are not a very optimistic band. Nothing I've heard from them gives me that kind of vibe, but I'm okay with that. You can get away with being a completely nihilistic, cynical piece of shit if you make good music. And I don't think they're even bad people. I think they're probably wonderful people given the messaging and the just personage of both of them. I think they're probably really wonderful, actually. But that being said, like they sound like they're pretty cynical, nihilistic pieces of shit, as I am myself. Which makes it even more fun to listen to. I mean, I got my Have a Nice Life patch. Like I don't know what else to tell you. I'm just a sucker for this kind of shit, and this is exactly what I wanted. This is the epoch of doom metal. If you've never listened to doom metal, if you didn't know what doom metal was, you should listen to this. Another thing of note, to the band specifically, please play more shows in California that are not 21 plus. I wanted to go to the record release, can't, 21 plus. I cried. I'm not gonna lie. I cried a little bit. There were some tears involved. I was very upset. That being said, this album's amazing. I cannot talk about it enough. I literally just listened to it for the second time, and I still feel that visceral feeling in my stomach. Flawless. I want to give it a 10. I want to really bad, but we're going to give it a 9 for now. I'll come back to it when I do my yearly wrap up. But no, this one's a strong contender for album of the year. Like, sorry Peggy, sorry Gizzard. We're doing Gizzard next, don't worry. But yeah, no, this is an incredible album. There's so much to it. And again, it's just guitar and drums. They do so much. It's so dynamic. Anyways, I gotta shut up. Bye.